Going into this movie, I was expecting disappointment. There was no way it could top the previous installments in the series. We ended up with a film full of emotion, mature themes, and more importantly, something that wasn't afraid to holding back its emotional blows. Sure, there were silly moments littered throughout the runtime, but contrary to most animated kids' films, the silliness seemed to be the second thought, as if the movie had been written first without the slapstick humour, but then were added to check the boxes that DreamWorks required. We see Hiccup throughout the film deal with the struggles of leadership and letting go of a loved one. It is somewhat depressing to see Hiccup reject the help of others and think that he has to do it alone. His ignorance of the idea of letting the dragons free to go on their own way while the Vikings go their way also adds to the sadness and build-up of the ending. When compared to how he started the film, it is undoubtedly incredible at the amount of character growth he has achieved. One thing the movie doesn't shy away from is the conflict within Hiccup. On one hand, he wants Toothless to be the happiest he can be, but he also wants Toothless to stay around, in a way. Hiccup is constantly trying to ignore the issue, hoping it will just go away by itself, but he does eventually have to make a decision. This is the primary character arc of the film, letting go of something because you love them. The character arc is organically woven into the plot. It is essentially about Hiccup trying to find the hidden world, a place where both the dragons and the Vikings can live without anyone finding them. Hiccup learns that the hidden world isn't meant for humans when he actually goes there himself and sees the way Toothless and the other Light Fury have sort of become the leader of the dragons, reflecting how Hiccup needs to do the same thing for them to succeed separately. The climax of this movie is what audience will walk up remembering. Unlike the previous How to Train Your Dragons, the enjoyment doesn't come from the dragons flying around fighting bad guys. It comes from the emotional journey of Hiccup as he tries to save Toothless and the Light Fury. The battle going on is only the backdrop from the emotional events that are taking place. The viewers are actually worried that the Light Fury might die, or that something might happen to Hiccup and his dragon. It is an action tilt built upon the decision Hiccup must make that has been piling on top of him the whole movie. It is only when the two dragons and Hiccup are in mortal danger that he sees the decision that he have made from the very start, putting the dragon's needs in front of his. All of this is done in such a dramatic, enticing way which will make a majority of parents question whether they should be showing this to their kids. The movie ends with such passion, sadness, but also happiness at the same time, that it is hardly shameful if you find yourself wiping away a tear or two. The scene in which the dragons part ways with the humans is beautifully done. All the movie has been building up to one scene, but not many words are spoken, but those that are written perfectly. The final exchange between Hiccup and Toothless will bring chills down even the coldest hearts. The final few minutes is quite possibly the best few minutes of any animated movie ever. It ends with a narration from Hiccup. This would usually be a big no-no for me, however the emotional weight it carries is substantial. He recalls how there used to be dragons when I was a boy, and how many years later not many people even know if they used to exist. It gets even better. We see an older Hiccup with a beard, with his and Astrid's children on a ship. Fog clears away to see Toothless and the Light Fury, who also have children. There are a few moments of uncertainty where Toothless struggles to recognize Hiccup, but this moment ends. Hiccup then lets his son touch a dragon for the first time. By learning from his father's mistakes as a dad, Hiccup has now truly become a great leader, parent, and friend. This movie is the perfect culmination of the franchise. It gets dark, but also has light moments to contrast it. The hidden world is everything it needed to be.